We're back where we were last time. We didn't even leave, did we? No, I'm lying. I've been to the shop to purchase and change around some items. I have grabbed a new short sword that's fully upped in its condition, grabbed some arrows because we were pretty much out. I also grabbed a couple of spells down here. I got Fireball because it's got some range associated with it, so we're not just going to be in touch range anymore with our fire spell. And I also got a heal. The other thing I did is I realised I know we discussed last time about me changing some skills around. I realised I actually completely messed them up. I didn't include Short Blade, and I actually didn't include my major and minor skills in the way I quite wanted to, so I've just flipped them around and got them right, and I've also taken it so that my stealth stuff levels quicker than everything else. So hopefully that'll be the last of the character changes that we'll be doing for a while at least. I don't want to be doing them all the time, to be honest. But if we have to do some, we have to do some. Hopefully I won't have messed them up. But yeah, I've decided sort of as we progressed, this is video 7, number 7 in the thing. Oh, happy Monday, by the way, everyone. Got to love a Monday. Monday of doing nothing apart from probably playing some video games and editing some videos, knowing me. But there we go. I was going to say something. Something about the video games. Look at how very slightly translucent I am. Really helps with my stealth. We killed it. Yes, so this game, there was something about it I was going to say. God, my brain is a bit farty today. It's not quite in the place it should be. Skills, something about leveling up, something about changing the way we play. Have I got it? Okay, so it goes back to the path where we were before. Cuts, that's what I was going to do. Well done, brain. We got there in the end. Did not mean to do that. It's the world's slowest arrow. That's weird. I don't know if you can still see that, but it's going off in the distance. So I think let's have a look at the world map. We'll punch down this way because I'm kind of interested in. I didn't know Vivek was on the coast. I guess we'll see. I want to kind of see what these little islands are over here. Yeah, I've decided that this might be a little more agit heavy than anticipated because there is going to be a touch of downtime. I ain't swimming out to anything. Involved in the game. That seems like a big city. That's Vivek. I'm not in the mood for city stuff at the moment, so I'm gonna swing back up over here and then perhaps explore this limb behind Pelagiad. I also am going to rest to get my my magicka back up. But yeah, because the game seems like it might be a little more cut heavy than I anticipated, I'm just gonna bite that bullet now and be like, that's the way we have to do it, I'm afraid. Because there's just going to be moments which are... Because there's no fast travel, there's just going to be moments that are literally... Right, we just need to backtrack now for a minute. 2v1 me, bro. Oh, what a shot. He ran away. So I'm just going to accept that, and we're going to move forward with things, having the cuts in, because it just makes sense, as I say, with the game style that it is. I am still going to grab a lot of loot, I think, because we can still be making some money off it. Oh, I didn't realise that thing could move. Is it a Silt Strider? That looks like it might be dangerous. Are you friendly? Let's go find out. Always dropping that save beforehand. I feel like we had direction for a half a second, like a couple of episodes ago, and the game is very quickly progressed into what is probably a very atypical experience for these types of games. Not atypical, a very typical sort of experience for Elder Scrolls games, which is very much, let's just wander around the map and see what we can find. That's the thief from earlier. So Vivek is also that way. Ebonheart is that way. Balmora, Pelagiad. Sedanine, Narmark and Hala Oad. I am just going to explore over here because I want to see what on earth that thing is. And perhaps we can talk to this Dark Elf and see what they have to say. You're not from around here, are you? Then it's just well to keep moving. Oh, he won't have any of it. Our only option is the goodbye there. Doesn't seem like it's dangerous. No. Is there a path like that goes and explores these islands? That's where I want to be doing, what I want to be doing personally. Out on the road again. I do feel already like we've gained a bit of strength though. I don't know if it's because I've messed around with my major and minor skills, or if we've just got a couple of level ups and that's actually made a bit of a difference. Feels too soon without doing some level ups that are outside our scats for us to be gaining too much in that way. Now another floaty thing. I mean, it's alien, isn't it? There's a lot of sunlight there, so see if we can get a bit of a different angle. That wouldn't be out of place, obviously with a bit of high definition, but that wouldn't be out of place in Mass Effect. Yeah, until you go to see Sheogorath in Oblivion, you don't get anything quite like this area around here. In fact, that feels like probably a direct response to people maybe saying that Oblivion was a bit generic. I mean, 5, we're not going to sniffle at that. We're not exactly money rich at the moment. Let's go the way that the map doesn't tell us. Who's this? Hello. Just a friendly warning, don't spook the Netch. Don't worry, they're completely safe if you don't bother them, but get them riled up in their trouble, especially the Betty Netch. The Betty Netch is a tough one. It's the Bull Netch that's poisonous, but the Betty Netch is twice as tough and twice as mean. Normally a single Betty Netch will have a harem of 5 or 6 Bull Netch, but we keep the Bull Betty ration closer to 1:1, that should be ratio surely, for faster breeding. It tends to make our Betty Netch a little more aggressive than they are in the wild. Interesting. So I'm guessing these two types we've seen are 2 different types. But I like the way they're like, this is the cattle of this world. So that's a bull. Is this a Betty? Yeah. I wonder what sort of like materials they produce. Is it like a leather thing, or is it, do they have a milk alike? Because I don't know. I'd try milk from a Cthulhu-esque sky monster. A docile Cthulhu-esque sky monster. Just out of curiosity, like. Is that Pelagiad? I think it is. Goes down to the ocean there. I don't really want to swim across, so let's keep heading this way and see what this sign says. I'm going to drop another save because I just don't know these areas. We've not seen a single enemy here, so it's not like before in the swamps where we could rely on it being mud crabs and rats. We don't quite know what we're getting into. Yeah, I think that's a guar, isn't it? Not like the band. I assume it's a trader of some sorts. We are heading into unknown territory. Rolly the guar. Oh.
What do you want?
I want to know what's up, dude. What you have to say. I do, there's the part of these games, as I say, that it's just go off in a direction. Because I have no sense of the map as well. I can just actually get the game experience that a million articles wrote about roughly 10 years ago. I remember reading stuff on Skyrim, and just like, there's a mountain. Oh no, it was a Todd Howard interview, wasn't it? Or a press conference where he's like, see that mountain over there? You can go there. And it's an amazing sales pitch, but it has also become a bit of a joke now. I don't know you. What do you want? Altmer. The Altmer are proud, conceited, and decadent. Their clothes, manners, arts, crafts are highly refined, but they are godless and spiritually empty. They content themselves with reliving the aged glories of their martial traditions and their mastery of sorcery and enchantment. Their achievements are admirable, but their culture no longer serves any vital purpose. You're taking out the fact that there are people involved in that culture, but you know, I don't really like you. LaRussa. Noble and hireling. The Imperials are clever, industrious thieves and conmen. Their legion are invincible, but individually they are weak and cowardly. Their civilization is a shabby imitation of the high elven culture, cheapened by the common greed and grasping nature of their merchants and monopolists. They have subjugated and enslaved the various peoples of Tamriel, and called this coerced submission peace. Yo, I'm so glad that they actually touch upon this, instead of it just being like, I think we've had one other that have slated the Imperials, but previously we have had a bit of lore is just about daggers. We have had one other person who slated the Imperials, but before that it has just all been a bit of Imperial worship, so it is good to see that one person who's like, you know what, these people might not be good. You can only talk about Solstenheim. Where are we on the map? Oh, we've come quite far then. Let's cut that way in a second. I just want to see what's at the end of this pier. That crackle's nice. I mean, we are technically part of the Thieves Guild. Imagine if you had to... Oh, they're 30 each, which for the whole lot of them, that's a fair amount. Imagine if, like, I'm just thinking Quorma eggs could be the egg-alike in this game, as in, you know, the same thing as eggs for us. We don't actually want that because it's a spear. No. We said we were going to go over here, didn't we? But imagine, you know, sort of the Quorma, which is the dungeon we did last episode. That sort of creature was where you got your standard domestic egg from, and they're just vicious as hell, and many adventurer died going after their morning breakfast, fried egg or scrambled egg. I've eaten both fried and scrambled egg over the last week, which I know is fascinating to people watching this, but they're just tasty. I like, for a long time when I was young, I hated eggs. I thought eggs were just the worst. But the issue actually is I hated bad eggs. If you get someone who can cook you a good egg, and they're brilliant. Oh, are these going to be slaves? They are. They've got the bracelets on. I mean, can we do anything to help them? I mean, whose slaves are they first? Who are we messing around with? I am just going to open them up, though. Are you a slave as well? Yeah, go free. I might leave it because, and there is only one reason why I'm going to leave this, because every inclination tells me to release all these slaves, but I'm fairly sure there are quests revolving around them. What are you? Oh, lore. About 50% of Ardenfeld's inhabitants are Dunmer. The other half are Redguard, Breton, Nord, Altmer, Dunmer, yeah, all the rest of the race. Roughly in equal proportion. That almost feels like the developer talking to you and going, look, we spread all of them out in these ratios. Your trade, what do you do? A drill master. I thought he was going to say something to do with slavery then. I was just like, can I leave you alive? I train and condition the local militia. I teach citizens the basics of block, spear, long-bladed, but mostly I concentrate on athletics, acrobatics, but conditioning is the biggest weakness of the citizen soldier. No point teaching them to fight if they pass out of a short jog in full kit. Well, I don't like this area. I think I'm going to come north here and then head west along here. But I suppose we're going to miss out exploring to the south, so let's get our map rotation and go that way first. I'm so tempted just to release all these. I don't know why there's a part of me that in the back of my head says that there are missions to get rid of slaves. But like Morrowind's a weird game that my relationship. This is a city. We'll go and see what this is. It's a weird game because my relationship with it is a lot more previous to this, even though I have played some, as previously stated. It's a lot more in the realm of reading a wiki, oddly enough. The unofficial Elder Scrolls wiki. I used to spend a lot of time on the forums when I was rather younger. Sultries. This is the one that was worth something last time, wasn't it? So we'll rob it. I mean, I feel a little less guilty just going in here and rootling through their stuff. Well, that's good. We'll take that. 4 to 9, will be 7 to 11 on the thrust. Oh, that's silver. Iron. I'm sure I just... What did I bring across from here? Silver. Iron. Am I going crazy? What have I got equipped? I'm like 100% sure that that was a steel short sword. So I bought the silver dagger earlier. It could be an iron short sword. Yeah, so I spent a long time on the wiki, and because I don't know, my interest wasn't enough that I was going to play the game, or I didn't until... In fact, I think it might have drummed up enough interest that I got around to playing it. In fact, I didn't even have a PC back then. I played this game originally on the Xbox. I might have even... Steel short sword, yeah, 5 to 12. So let's just equip it. God knows what happened to the last one. Did I drop it on the floor or something? Did I do that? But I was like, because I was hugely invested in Oblivion at the time, and the Elder Scrolls in general, but Oblivion was my touchstone. I ended up being interested enough to read the Wikipedia pages of this game more so. So like a lot of these names, like Talvani and Halu and all that, Halula. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but all these names are ones that register something in my brain. They're all ones that are something that I recognize, but they're not necessarily something that I have the actual context of the game for because of reading Wikipedia articles about it, or unofficial wikis. So yeah, it just leaves you in a weird space with like walking around and seeing people and being like, oh, I know that name, but I know nothing about them. Maybe I did at one point. Is it put a cut in the video time? Have I got anything interesting to say? Let's go see this man. You can tell I didn't put a cut in there because that's funnier to me. I imagine he's not a slave because... what do you do? What's your trade? I'm a farmer. I grow crops, raise animals for food, and gather animal products and vegetable products for the land. Farmer. Nervarine. Divine intervention scrolls. Emergency exit and lets him move a lot more loot than he can carry on foot, and faster goes without saying. Daedra. Law. Trade. We've done all that. So we know there's a town... I'm assuming it's sort of like here. I was going to aim to go southwards, wasn't I? I've ended up not following my directions. This is the problem, not having like more in-depth knowledge of which way you're heading without like sort of opening the map, or like there's no UI for it really. I suppose there actually is. There is this little thing down here. Can I make that bigger? No. I was wondering if I could actually like find my direction and have a compass direction off that, in all honesty. But yeah, it does make things a little easier to get lost. I'm not finding any like dungeon hovels or anything like that. Are they marked on this map? No. SRAM. We got into less trouble than I anticipated in this episode. Did far more of that last time. I was expecting to be able to sort of walk around here and find a dungeon or two. So this is... So we do need to cross water, don't we? I wish you could zoom in on this map a little more. I'm just going to check over this hill. This looks like the sort of area where they do nestle, like a little dungeon there. Okay. Right, let's cross the river. I keep getting distracted by things, and I think in the first episode... I'm not going to go in there. The first episode I talked about seeing something in the distance and going there and that being a very typical Elder Scrolls thing, and I've talked about it this episode, so it must be true if it's coming up this much. But yeah, I'm getting very distractible. I'm seeing things in the middle distance and being like, ooh, a thing. Are they clams? We found a pearl last time that was worth something. Oh, you can... Hello. I don't mind leveling up some of my my light armor like that. No, it's just a barnacle of sorts. Nothing of use to me. But I will use this to make first chance use of my healing spell. This is proving to be a hill that my guy does not want to run up. Oh, I was trying to get a another go on the healing spell. I am going to dispose of his body. I talking about forums and things like that, I have a weird memory of people talking about why there is a dispose of body button, and for some reason my brain is associating that with being that's the button you need to press it because there is a sort of limit on how many bodies there can be on the map, and pressing that will mean that you can get rid of them and not overload your computer. Even though it's a very old game, for some reason in my head that I'm going to overload my computer if I keep leaving these bodies up. I think of use. I mean, the shields, the shorts, steel short sword is hound meat in a barrel next to the water. Someone's shipping that out, perhaps. Don't quite know why. I'm finding a lot of these short swords, but I imagine they weigh a bit. Mind you, we've got plenty of weight. We could have picked it up and sold it on. There seems to be more farm areas, but let's just keep plodding along south and see what we can get into. I'm going to put a cut here. Perhaps that was part of the cut. There's a part of sort of, I don't know if it's main psychology or Freudian-esque psychology, and I can't remember which term it is, but in the realms of ego, superego, and id, there is a part that's associated with sort of not necessarily distractibility, but like constantly being like, oh, look a thing, oh, look a thing, let's go over there, let's go and see what this is. And I'm finding that my experience of this game is sort of being ruled by that. It's very much a, oh, I can see something off in the distance and going that way. I want to know what that aspect of the brain is, but I've discovered that if I alt-tab out of the game, that's certainly something that it causes a crash. I think it's something to do with the recording stuff I'm using. Are you dangerous? You've not attacked me so far. What are you doing out here? If you know what's good for you, Dark Elf, you'll leave me alone and be on your way. Skooma is an illegal narcotic substance made from refined moon sugar. Criminals use it as a kind of currency. They say it makes you fast and strong, but clumsy and stupid. Of course, I want nothing to do with it. That's suspicious. If I only have one option to speak to you, and it's about Skooma. Is he a drug dealer? It's not something you usually ask someone, is it? Are you a drug dealer? Right, so I was just going to put a cut in there, but it's similar to the last time. I've seen something interesting on the horizon. That's got to be a Daedric shrine of some sort. So, and I haven't saved in absolutely ages. So we shall go over there and explore and see what they've got to say for themselves. These evil Daedra, apparently. Because apparently there's good ones and bad ones. I wonder, because in Oblivion they're called Aedra and Daedra, aren't they? Where maybe in this they're just Daedra and Daedra. Oh, it's a scamp. I wonder if we can take a scamp. I'm just trying to get eyes on if there's any more. Yeah, that's combat. If we can lure this one backwards out of here, we might be able to just take them one at a time. We don't want to get into a fight with multiples of them. Oh, interesting. I didn't realise that Daedra were going to be affected by the magic limitation things. Oh, he's strong. Luckily, he can't hit at all. We'll take a fight with one of them. I wonder if we can take the other. Okay, there's enemies nearby. We'll back off for a second, set up camp outside, and maybe dive back in and see what we can, see if we can take out this other scamp. What's attacking me? Oh, that's part of the Quoma genus? Family. So what does this do? Shock damage. This should actually... I don't know, because I know again, I'm using some of my knowledge of Oblivion to sort of cross-reference into a different game, which I know is not necessarily the smartest. Because some of the rules are different. But I know in Oblivion, if you have a magic sword of some sort, using that against creatures which are immune to sort of mundane weapons, the magic will actually do the job you need it to. I was just about to try and use my bow, and I remembered, oh, that's a person. So I sort of want to, yeah, only attract one and bring them to the gates, I think. Because I can't take two of them at this stage, we're too low level, but fighting semi-tactically. It's interesting because the mechanics demand this sort of gameplay off myself. But you can't really easily tell a narrative about this sort of gameplay that makes sense. If I get hit one more, I'm going to drop a potion. And then switch to my magic. Yeah, you can't make sense of this in regards to, oh, my guy jumps into fight here and then jumps out here or anything like that. What's one going to do to me? Absolutely nothing. Oh, I didn't use it, that's why. I need to drop it on my body. Yeah, we died. We can certainly take that fight though. I just need to switch the magic sooner. There are some cuts. I don't want to go too long. Yeah, in fact, we'll put our cut in here because that's going to mean next episode we can do a interesting fight with some Daedra stuff. Maybe hopefully dive a little deeper in here and see what we can get ourselves into. Narratively, like, I think our guy's a bit of a miss. He's headed to this new land weak and tried to help him. Perhaps like he's had a crisis of confidence, and this is the training regime he's chose for himself, is to go and explore and do this and find his feet again. But yeah, he's tried to take on some more difficult enemies, and he's realised that that's not for him. He's actually going to have to recoup and take a step backwards before he's able to do that. So perhaps that's our story for him so far, and that's the stage of the adventure we're in. We can't be too far off a level up. Yeah, changing these skills around was definitely the right call. We're going to get some level ups a little sooner now. Yeah, I've got a save there, haven't I? But we'll go again just to make sure. Yeah, that's going to be it from me. If you want to see more of this, do the usuals down below. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.